except every day. I don't like the game, I just like to play. I don't care for strangers, but I dig the strange, and I don't know what else to tell ya. They're just guilty pleasures. They're just guilty pleasures. They're just guilty pleasures. They're just guilty pleasures.
Hey folks, how you guys doing out there, man? It's Big Lou, and we're here live with another episode of Shootin' Da Sh. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Selwyn Birchwood will be joining us shortly. Don't forget that Friday we have Toronto Cannon. Monday, Jason Ritchie. On the 18th, we have Big Lou from one of the other radio stations is going to be joining me. And on May 15th, we got Sean Chambers. We're getting a lot of musicians calling us up, trying to get on this here with us, and we're going to be shooting the shit with a lot of these guys. Right now, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to bring over, there he is, he's looking, waiting, he's in the green room. We're going to bring him in from the green room. Here's Selwyn Birchwood to join me. Selwyn,
What's going on?
Here,
How's
man,
it going?
chilling, man.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Nah, man, just doing our thing, trying to keep it going and stay relevant. I see you got the quarantine look going on.
Yeah, man. Me and my drummer had a no shave until showtime bet going, and I think I won already. I was only expecting it to be a couple weeks though, man. It's like 2 months into this thing, man. It's like I don't even know who I am anymore.
Hey, man, you got a great show going on though. Your little Blue Shadow going on. I'm a fan, and I know you have a lot of fans of it. That's Wednesdays, correct?
Yeah, I've been doing a show on my live stream. I didn't want to do just a normal sit there with an acoustic guitar and play music type of show because I felt like that's what everyone was doing. So mine, you'll see, is a little different, if you like music, but also, cocaine sniffing Elmos and weed smoking monkeys and interviews with the Tiger King and call in special guests, and you might dig it, man.
and like I told you earlier, I had a special gift for Elmo. Tell Elmo he don't need that cocaine. Take a sniff of some oxygen and get high on life, baby. That's the best thing he can do. We're gonna save
man.
Elmo. We're gonna send Elmo to rehab.
That's all right, man. He tried it.
He died, but it's you added the humor element to it, and I think it goes a long way because you can. There's a little transmission in the emotion that's lost, obviously, from the internet. Me sitting in my house, you sitting in your house, we don't have that connection, and you're bringing that connection with a little bit of humor, and it's a good thing to see, man.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do, man.
So anyway, now to the interview part of the business here. What I would like to know is what got you first into the music business? What was your first impression of the music business that said this is what I want to do?
Man, for me, I had picked up guitar when I was in middle school when I was like 13, and I was just kind of playing, stuff that was on the radio, just popular music and radio rock sort of stuff when I was first getting into it. And I just was having fun, it was fun to be able to play songs on the radio that my friends recognized, and that was cool for me. But I got bored of that really quickly, and when I was 17, I actually I got a Jimi Hendrix record, and a friend had turned me on to that, and I was like, man, what is this music? Because it sounded like alien music to me, and I was never one of the kind of guitar players that wanted to just sound like Hendrix or something like that. I was more turned on by the creativity of his music, and man, I said, whatever this sound is, I got to know where he got these ideas from. And when you dig back in his bio, you find all the old blues guys. So I saw Buddy Guy's name in there, Muddy Waters and Elmore James and all those cats. And it felt like the same week, Buddy Guy was actually coming to do a show in Orlando, Florida. and I went to go see him there. And I didn't know anything about him besides that he was in a Hendrix bio. So I bought a ticket and went. And anybody that's seen Buddy Guy live knows what an incredible showman and musician and singer and stuff. And I was just completely captivated and enthralled. And I said, whatever this is that I'm experiencing, that's what I want to learn, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I put my mind to. And that was when I was 17, and I just really started buying up all the records I could and practicing all I could. And by the time I was 19, I got picked up in a band with Sonny Rhodes from Texas, and he took me all over the U.S. and all over Canada, and really showed me what it was to be a touring blues musician and a band leader. And I kind of rode his coattails for a little while until about 4 or 5 years I was playing in his band on and off, and then I decided to focus on writing my own music and took it from there.
Um, Now, with that leading right into the next question is, how would you describe the music that you typically create?
Um, I'm not sure yet, man. My heart is always in blues music, but I don't. I feel like it's fraudulent to just take sort of a copy and paste of the sounds that Muddy Waters did and BB King did, and just put some different words to it and say, oh, this is my music here. And I try to take the same sort of feeling and emotion and spirit of the blues music that I like and try to tell my own story with it. And that's the only way I can feel like it's authentic. I'm 100% authentic in being myself, and that's what I strive to be. And sometimes people will say, that doesn't sound exactly like Muddy Waters or exactly like BB King, and I'm just kind of like, yeah. And it's kind of crazy, man. That's what
Now,
I try to do.
I pick up the phone and I call you, and I have a stack of musicians waiting in limbo over here. Who is the one musician that you would stop what you're doing to collaborate with? Who's that one musician?
Uh, Probably Buddy Guy, man, because it just that's where I feel like the sickness kind of started. I got bit by that blues bug, and that's where it got started. Which is a trip for me because we've done so many shows with Buddy Guy at this point, and it's a trip to have started at that point. And the last show that I did with Buddy Guy, was in France, in Vienne, France. We performed at this. I opened for him at Jazz at Vienne, which was at this uh, amphitheater outside. There was about 10 or 11,000 people out there. And man, it's actually on my profile pic. If you go to my Facebook page, the profile pic that I have on there is from Jazz at Vienna. It was surreal, but that'd be amazing to collaborate with that guy, man.
Through these last 2 months that we've been in quarantine, I would say since beginning of March we've been quarantined. It fluttered slowly, and by the second week in March, everything was pretty much shut down. Is there a special message that you'd like to send your fans?
Man, don't forget about me, man.
I think that's hard to do, man. People love
Yeah,
you.
I this is just a crazy thing for this entire nation. It's easy to get stuck in that bubble of selfishness and shit, and be like, why is this happening to me? And I need my needs met and stuff. And it's like, of course, you do, but we gotta figure out how to make things right for everybody, because we're all in this together in one way or the other. And we just gotta
Yeah,
keep
I was
keep this
talking.
this shit together, man.
I was talking to Walter Trout the other day, and I said, "Man, why hasn't your marketing campaign uh, jumped all over this? Because that phrase is being said on every news channel, every channel saying we're all in this together." And that was one of the tracks of one of his songs that made it huge. He won an
Oh yeah.
award for it. I said, "You should be jumping." I would personally, I'd be jumping all over the media with that song. But that's here nor that's not my issue. Um, Now, when you're up on stage, I know you. What's the purpose of kicking off your shoes, man?
Man, I ever since I was a kid, I never liked wearing shoes. I just my sister used to cuss and yell at me all the time, and be screaming at me, "Put some damn shoes on! You're gonna get friggin' hookworm and stuff." And I actually was playing a show, and I got a little bit more drunk than I probably should have on this particular show. And for whatever reason, I just had decided, Jack Daniels decided that he wanted to take his shoes off, and I kicked my shoes off, and the crowd went crazy. And I did it again the next show, and then the next show, and I finally got, because I was more comfortable that way anyway, and I finally just stopped wearing them altogether, and nobody seemed to say anything. So I was like, "This works for me, man."
Hey, no, it's comfort. I do it. I love it. I nothing like being very. If I could afford to pay somebody to walk in front of me and keep the streets clean, I would never wear another pair of shoes in my life.
I dig it, man.
You know, what's next for Selwyn Birchwood?
Man, it's a crazy thing because in December we finished recording our third record for Alligator Records, and it was supposed to be being released May 29th of this month of this year. But with all this stuff going on, we can't tour, so it's kind of no point in releasing a record if you can't tour. So we've got the record done. It's pressed. It's we're actually gonna have this record out on vinyl too, which is the first time I'm gonna actually, after calling it a record for all these years, I'll actually have a record with this next one. But I can tell you the record's called "Living in a Burning House." It's got 13 tracks on it, and it's my fifth record of all original music. And I always say I pride myself on trying to write songs so that when you hear me play, you hear someone that sounds kind of like me. And I think that this record is the best attempt so far of really capturing my own sound. And I think everyone's really going to dig on this one for sure.
Now, let me ask you, how do you feel that because we were just talking about the internet, how do you feel that the internet has impacted the music business?
Well, it's there's positives and negatives to everything, man. I think about how a friend of mine sent me a challenge that said send 10 albums that shaped you. It's one of those memes going around, and I sent the 10 albums back, and I couldn't help but notice that the majority of them were the ones that I listened to over and over again when I was younger, before the internet music thing was going on as much. And we used to listen a lot more deeply. I think there's nothing like getting an actual copy of the record rather than streaming it. And I feel like there's so many people that stream music now that for one, the artists aren't going to be getting much money off of you streaming the album, but also the listener doesn't get as much out of it because it's so easy come, easy go that you don't take ownership of it. And then, when you listen to it, you aren't listening that deeply, man. It was an event from even when you open the packaging to putting it in and listening through those songs, man. It's like, you really listen to it. And I feel like it's such a superficial level that a lot of people listen to music now that that kind of has cheapened the experience. And I want people to listen to the music that we're making, man.
Now, with that being said, if you could change anything about the industry, pick up a magic stick and change one thing about the music industry, what would you change?
uh it would probably go along the lines of that. Still, I feel like people don't listen with their ears as much anymore, and especially, it's a phenomenon in the blues scene now. People aren't listening with their ears, they're listening with their eyes, and they're a lot more content seeing a young girl in a short dress, that is playing, some, rather than listen to someone that has got a lifetime of studying music and performing under their belt. It's a lot different thing when you hear some of these cats, when you hear Lucky Peterson playing on the stage. you know, I've heard those cats. I've heard Lucky Peterson. I've heard, Bobby Rush. I've heard Magic Slim live. All these guys, Willie Big Eye Smith, and when you hear those cats, they are so deep. They're stepping in lava, man, and it's like it's such a superficial thing when it goes the other route. It's like I can understand why an older gentleman's wanting to see a younger girl playing guitar, but man, let's not pretend like it's anything about the music, man. And that's what I dig. I dig music, you know.
Now you've played at venues that I've held, and I think you've realized the difference between me and a lot of bars. Personally, I try and seat up to the stage to eliminate dancers, and I like more of the listening rooms,
Yeah,
where the musicians are truly appreciated for their performance. It's not a band playing at a bar. It's a musician giving me a show. I'm here to see the whole show,
yeah,
and I think that's what you're saying that you missed. You would change also, and I would be in line with you to change it because that's one of the
yeah,
things
man.
that I truly love is watching the expression on the musicians when he hits that note and he knows he hit that note, and his eyes are wide open, but all you see are the whites in his eyes. He's out there, he's
Yeah,
gone. It's an emotion, man. The business it's all about emotion, and I think sometimes people get caught up in the party versus the show. You could go to a movie, sit down and shut up for 2.5 hours. You can go to a comedy club, sit down and shut up and listen to a comedian for 2.5 hours. You know what? If you go to see a musician play a show, sit down and shut up and listen to it. It's about the
yeah.
show also. That's right. Big Lou said it. Shut your ass up.
Well,
It's
that's
true.
a phenomenon that's more in the U.S. than it is over in France. It's still like that, man, and some of it I think is the language barrier. When we go to these places in Europe, they can't understand what I'm saying when I'm performing, but they could feel exactly what I'm talking about when we're playing the music. And it's not uncommon over there to see, it freaked me out the first couple trips I had over there because some of the people in the crowd have their eyes closed. I'm like, oh my God. And they're completely silent. The crowd
Mm.
is complete. I mean, thousands of people. It is like it could be in an auditorium and it's completely silent. And man, it's because they're listening. And it's like I would be fighting the internal monologue in my head of they don't like it and stuff. And then it's like once we get done playing, it's just an absolute roar of applause and stuff. And it's because they're listening, man. And I don't feel like people listen a lot right
But but
now.
I,
And it's
but I,
like,
I also think that has happened just because it's so many musicians that need work, and we're taking jobs at venues that aren't really venues that we should be playing at, but being that I'll put it out there, it's a paycheck and it's what pays our bills, and we need to pay our bills. So we take every gig that we can get our hands on. But some of these places that I'm realizing aren't really a place that it's a bar, basically, and it's gonna be a bar, and you can't change it from a bar, no matter how much we try. And as a musician, when you take that gig, you know what you're headed into. If I say you're gonna do a show at this arena, or if you're going to do a show at the event center, or you're going to do a show at Bobby Joe's bar, you know what you're going to head into when you pull up.
yeah.
And that's kind of the devil of the business, I guess. Um, what is it that you enjoy the most about being a musician?
Everything, man. I mean, the music is what I love to do, and people ask me all the time in interviews and stuff, what do I do on days off, or what do I, what's my favorite thing to do when I'm home? And my answer is always the same. It's like, man, I'm listening to music and I'm playing my guitar and I'm studying records and studying to try to get better at my instrument, and that's it, man. It's a blessing, and I'm thankful for it every day because I've had bad jobs, man, and I'm thankful every day that I can do this for a living. And if they always say the test is if you were stuck on a desert island, you know, what would you be doing? And that's what you're supposed to do with your life. And if I was on a desert island, if I didn't have a guitar, I'd pick up a damn coconut and try to play the coconut. And this is what I love to do. So everything top to bottom, it's not always easy, But you know, you take the good with the bad, and at the end of the day, I get to do what I want to do, which is write music, study music, and perform music for people, and really try to take that passion and joy that I have for music and try to translate that to audiences all over the world. And I'm just really grateful for that, man.
Um, Now that question also has a flip side to it. What is it you hate the most about the business?
I wouldn't I wouldn't put hate on anything. It, like I
Dislike.
said,
What is it
you
you dislike about the business?
man, you got to put up with a lot of stuff to get to that stage, man. It's like it's just you have to take the good with the bad, and I mean it. I've been a germaphobe a long time before this thing, man, and living in and out of hotels that may or may not always be the best. You'd be appalled at some of the places that people will try to put traveling musicians, man. And you know, in and out of truck stops and just you know, it's not always easy, man. But you do it because you love it, and you do it because that's what you have to do to get to the stage, which is the good part. Y'all get to see the good part, man.
We're gonna have to send intrepid artists a memo on that. Someone could not
Oh,
stay in less than a 5-star rest hotels.
oh no, I take care of that when we get to the if we get to a hotel and it ain't right, man. That gets taken care of,
All
man.
right, good deal.
I
Um,
got messed around and got scabies one time at a damn hotel that they wanted to
uh,
put us in up in Rhode Island, man. Whew, I don't mess around with
man,
hotels, man. Never
I
again.
can't say that I would either. Um, Especially more now, so with what's going on, we're gonna be more careful. Um, Go back to this Wednesday. At what time is your show Wednesday?
8 p.m. Eastern. So I do the show is called The Blue Shadow from my Facebook page. It's every Wednesday. You do it on Hump Day. And I always say it's the second best way to celebrate Hump Day, man. So we do that with the Blue Shadow on Wednesdays from my Facebook page. It's just at Selwyn Birchwood Band.
And we all know that the best way to celebrate it is with the Hump Day Blues Show with Big Lou. So,
Oh shoot, we competing now.
hey,
Dang,
let me ask you: do you have a tip jar available going through all these times right now?
I
Trying to
do,
be
man.
some
I've got everything on my Facebook
on your
pages.
Facebook page.
The PayPal is paypal.me/Selwyn Birchwood, and the Venmo is at Selwyn Birchwood.
And if
Uh,
anybody wants to pick up any of your merchandise, they can pick it up at
you just go to alligator.com. They have
alligator.com.
yep, and that's the Alligator Records website. It's not just a website with pictures of alligators.
Man, I would have known. I would have put on my alligator cap on today, man. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, man.
They're the only hey alligator. You can let them know they're the only ones that have sent me a hat, man. And I play it out. I need. It's about time for a new one. I gotta call them. But hey, man, it's been real having you here with me. It's been a pleasure, man, and I look forward to the show on Wednesday. Um, Anything you want to leave us with?
Look out for the new album when it gets released here. It's called "Living in a Burning House." It's my third record for Alligator. It's the fifth record that I've released of all original music. And you know, in the meantime, while we're having to be socially distant, man, I'm being social on that Blues Shadow show that I'm streaming every Wednesday, and I can't wait to get back out and be playing in front of people and experiencing music together rather than sitting at, you know, in a room feeling like I'm playing to my cell phone, man. That ain't live.
Hey, don't forget we have Dropbox's Phoenix Radio Media at gmail.com. I'm just saying it, man. Throwing it out there, you know. I picked your poison. I think I was the first guy that picked it out that said that was going to be an award winning CD, didn't I? I interviewed you, I think, when you first released that. And Pick Your Poison. I still jam that shit every day. That's one of my favorite go to albums. I tell my wife if I pass out, don't you call no ambulance. Let me go.
I dig it, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Selwood, I thank you for your time, my friend, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. And
All right.
if I get word from the health department over here on that thing, I'll call you and I'll see if we book something down here and
I
get you working. All
appreciate it,
right.
man.
All right, brother. Peace out. Be good.
Take it easy.
Take care. There you go, folks. That was Selwyn Birchwood with us today here on Shooting the Shit. He talked a little bit about everything here. Let you guys know he's got a new album coming out. Be looking for it. Don't forget that Friday at 5 p.m., I'll have Toronzo Cannon coming to us from Chicago. Monday, Jason Ritchie. The following Friday, we have Sean Chambers. And then we have Big Lou joining us. We got Walter Trout coming in. I got a bunch of artists that we've reached out to, Liza Deals and Narcotics. We've reached out to Gary Clark Jr., Joe Bonamassa. We're going to try and get a bunch of folks on here for you guys to interview and for me to interview, and you can ask your questions for us. I want to thank you once again for sitting here with us and shooting the shit with myself and Selwyn Birchwood until Friday. Peace out, folks.